Yo. Yo. Oh. Anyways, so we're back with another video that basically pertains to the last video, but I didn't do something I thought I was, well, not that I thought, that I told myself to say in the last video, which would have made a lot of sense for the last video, but I didn't do it in the last video, so I'm going to do it in this video. And that is show you what parts you need. Well, parts that are in this G-body that you can use to swap into your G-body. If any of that made sense to you, you're a lot smarter than I am. So we got a 78 Caprice, which in the last video you saw me do a lot of things to it to make it better, I guess you would say. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't bad, so anyway, I just did work to it. But anyways, I meant to tell you at the end of that video what parts he used to swap it, and I completely forgot. I actually remembered a couple days ago, and that last video's been out for almost a week now, I think. But in this video, I'm going to show you what he used. So we have, for motor mounts, we have, maybe you can see it better on this side. Yeah. So you got that shiny silver right there. All that is these swap plates that I've showed a million times. ICT swap plates. You can even get them on Amazon. That's all they are. They bolt to the engine block and the big holes, and then the small holes are for your actual motor mounts that bolt the engine to the frame, and they're 1-inch adjustable front and back. And he just used the stock style, has the stock frame mount right there, and it has the stock clamshell mount. So basically, if you had a 305 in your G-body, that's those same exact mounts. The only thing that's different is that swap plate right there that's bolted to the LS engine. For manifolds, he used the stock truck manifolds. So these will come on your 4.8, 5.3, 6.0s, Gen 3, obviously, specifically. We have a stock radiator. This is just the eBay special radiator. It came with the shroud and the electric fans. I believe it was $220 from eBay. That's plenty. These LS engines, their cooling system is very good to begin with, so you'd be surprised that you don't need a big 4-core radiator like you typically would for an old school engine. A lot of, actually, to get technical, so those SUVs and trucks that these Gen 3 engines come out of, those radiators are they only have 1-core radiators in them. And the radiators are like, well, actually I can show you, because that's what he had in this when he brought it to me. So this is just a factory radiator out of one of those trucks or SUVs, and you can see how skinny it is. So you don't need big old radiators for these swaps like you would if it was an old 350 or a 305 or big block, because they don't have the same, not even anywhere close to the same overheating issues that those old school motors have, which is one huge pro to an LS swap. And then for upper radiator hose, this is just a stock truck hose. Here's the part number. Yeah, I actually read it that way to that way. So that's just a stock hose off of one of those SUVs and trucks again. This is a flexi hose. I went to the parts store and got. You basically just get like 3 of them, different lengths, and then just see which one works. Not much to that. Obviously, it's the stock truck intake. It's a stock truck SUV accessories. There's not much to it. You just do what he did and bolt it in. For oil pan, I believe I can tell you if I look at it, if it's an F body or if it's a Holly. Oh, the concrete's hot. That is I believe, yeah, that's a Holley. That's a Holley 302-2. I can see the Holley name right there. You can get these on Amazon now for half the price. So I would use a Holley 302-2 in every car swap I do, because they're not $400 anymore. The knockoff Amazon ones are like $250 or something now. Used to be use the F-body pan and everything, but those Holleys, they have more front clearance right there where the pan starts to come back into the sump. The F-bodies actually stick out a little bit farther that way, so on some swaps they interfere with the frame right there. Is where the Holley 302-2, it comes back farther before it starts to go into the sump. And then he used the Turbo 350, and he's using the factory G-body crossmember, which you can use, which that mount, the transmission mount, is the same on a 4L60. So you can use the stock crossmember because it's the same mount. You just have to, the holes will just have to be pushed back a little bit farther, which I don't know, it doesn't seem like they have much room to go back any further, but it might. But they should make cheap cross members for these by now. They're a popular thing to swap. That drive shaft also will probably work. I've had it work in a couple of my swaps because the Turbo 350 slip yoke is the same spline count as a 4L60. So one other thing that hopefully helps you out in your swap. And then over there we got the fuel pump, and well, that's the fuel filter, that's the Corvette fuel filter regulator. The fuel pump is right there, and that's just an Amazon Evil Energy fuel pump. That's a filter, that's a pre-filter fuel pump, and then that's the Corvette filter regulator. He has an aftermarket fuel cell in this, so it wouldn't be the same as if you're using a stock style fuel cell. But for the stock style gas tank, you would just take out the fuel pump that's in it and put in an aftermarket fuel pump that's either regulated up to about 58-60 psi, or it's unregulated, and you would use that Corvette filter regulator that is on the frame right there that I just showed you. And I have a video of how you run that fuel system with the Corvette fuel filter regulator. You just gotta go look for it. And that's really it. It is as simple as it sounds. This is just he's got a BP Automotive swap harness. He's got a eBay computer that's been tuned because it has a cam. You hook up some power wires and you hook up the fuel, and that's that. This is a aftermarket. This is like the universal LS swap air intake. Most of these I chop them down, and I just used a 90-degree elbow from Amazon, and I made it come over here to where it's getting that fresh Mother Nature made air through its Mother Nature made air hole, I guess you'd call it. That's really it. I'm trying to sit here and think of anything else in particular. We got oil pan, we got motor mounts, we got manifolds, we got radiator, we got cooling system, we got intake. Oh, this is just a Amazon throttle cable that I ran, that you just run to the stock pedal. That's why I like using drive-by cable. One of the many reasons why I prefer drive-by cable over drive-by wire in swaps. But unfortunately, Gen 4 and Gen 5, you have no option. You have to go drive-by-wire. But for Gen 3, I always prefer drive-by cable. What else? We got trans mount, fuel system. He used the factory, so this is the factory truck high pressure line. And it looks like it bolted right into the stock spot in the gearbox. So there you go, there's that. Don't have to get any custom line made or anything. What else? That's really it. That's all there is to it. This is why I wish I didn't have a Mopar, because these GM based not frames but platforms, there's everything out there to swap them. I mean, you just go online and they have every piece you need to swap one of these. That's where not so much. But yeah, so I hope that gives you hope that helps, gives you a better idea of exactly what you need. I mean, he did this really cheap. You can see he used factory, the parts that came with the car, trans mount, engine mounts, cheap eBay radiator. He used the stock truck upper hose, the stock manifolds, the stock intake, accessories. I mean, that's what this account, YouTube channel, it's kind of weird to say, is all about. It's just cheap LS swaps, even though some of them I've done that you see in the videos haven't been cheap, but he did it cheap. Just bolt a turbo 350 to it, hook it up, and just go. But hopefully that helps you. That should work for all 70s to 80s G-bodies. I'm not a G-body expert, so asking me specific questions probably isn't going to get you the best answers. If you've swapped a G-body and you're watching this and I missed something, throw it down in the comments. Help us all out. I'm always down to learn new stuff. So I will see y'all next video, whatever that may be. Oh, follow, like, subscribe, comment, share with your mom, share with her mom, share with your girlfriend, share with her girlfriend, share with your wife. You know what I mean. So I'll see y'all next video.